right, I think I'm going. Never entirely sure. This is April 2021 portfolio update for Texas Investments. And so what I'm going to do is do a quick overview of just where we are um, with our portfolio, and then we'll go back and take a look at some comparisons that I think will be fun to do. So first off, our position in Best Buy has been doing really well for us. They have continued to increase the number of online sales that they started doing rather because of COVID and just kind of keeping that going and ramping it up. There's been a lot of talk about the PlayStation 5 and getting inventory in for that. There's also issues with the inventory as a whole, so it's something to keep an eye on about getting more products in the store because people are still shopping in the store. So they have to get product in the store for people to purchase. But again, doing really well for us. We're up about 15% on that position. And we don't have any intention on getting out anytime soon. But again, we'll take a look at some comparisons and see where that goes. All right. Rogers Communications. This has been a sore thumb for us. One of the worst positions that we've had for some time now. And so we don't quite have a buy signal on it yet. The price hasn't dropped far enough for us to do that. We're currently only down about 3%, which isn't horrible, but the price just has not moved at all. But we are collecting a decent dividend. Rogers is in the process of purchasing another telecommunications company in Canada, which is going to just make them just that much bigger. And so we're keeping an eye on that to see how that goes. But for the most part, everything is kind of just going as normal. Sports is starting back up, but I do not believe they have people coming into the stadium yet. So we're still waiting to see how that all pans out and whether or not that'll be accredited to not only the income statement, but to the stock price. Xcel Energy has done fairly well for us. We're up about 7% in that position. Don't quite have a sell signal on it yet, but again, doing really well. They are continuing their efforts in not only increasing their rates in multiple locations across the country, but they're also still doing the steel for energy, where they are building windmills and things of that nature to generate electricity to sell to customers, primarily in Colorado and Texas. So keep an eye on that, see how that goes. No big news other than that, honestly. All right, Valero has done really well. Actually had a bit of a mishap with this position that I'll talk about here. So you see the amount for balance, right? So that's the amount of shares that the program says that we need to hold in order to, to realize the most profit. So in March, in February or March, no, February, we purchased 100 shares to match that account balance, and then quickly sold those shares. So we did realize a profit on that, a fairly nice profit. So we're still in a position. All right, we sold 85 shares. We currently have 15. Still in a position, but we're $5,000 under allocated. A lot of this has to do with cash, and so now that the cash is there, we are looking not to purchase shares, but to sell some options against purchasing those shares. I've talked about that in previous videos. So we'll be selling one option at about $100 every month to purchase more shares. So if we purchase more, great. If we don't, great, right? Okay. And other than that, Valero's doing really well. Nothing really to speak of, honestly. just moving along, selling gas like they always do. They have pulled out of Mexico. Um, no, I'm sorry, Best Buy pulled out of Mexico. Valero is starting to ship from Texas to Mexico. So anyway, yeah, that's that. All right, Campbell Soup. We're currently up just a bit in the position. Hasn't fared very well. So we're looking at hopefully maybe adding more to the position if the price drops far enough or getting out of it. They are, just looking for that next thing to take them to the next level, whether that be an advertising campaign, whether that be new product. Um, I'm really glad that we got into this position because I've learned a lot about the company that I didn't know before, specifically the different products that they sell, and maybe we'll look at a little bit of that here in a moment. All right, Merck. Merck got completely out of the COVID vaccine game, but they did sign a contract to manufacture COVID drugs. So happy about that. Nothing big is going on in the way of new drugs. They're kind of just, moseying along like we expect them to do. We're currently down about 2% in the position, so not great, not horrible. I think the price right now is like $77 or something like that. Um, so that's that. All right. Fastenal. Again, we're matched in position. 21 is what the program calls for. We currently have 20 shares. We're just up a bit, 2% in this position. Not enough to sell. Not down far enough to purchase more. So we're just holding. They have been benefiting from the COVID safety protocols. So lots of face masks, lots of other safety equipment they've really been able to benefit from. And whether or not that's going to, propel the stock price further, I don't know. There's not any big news or anything right now surrounding the company, other than, like I said, the benefit of COVID helping them out there. All right, Southern Copper. Southern Copper, as you can see, we're up about 14%. It's done really well for us. There's lots of news concerning um, uh, oversupply in the market. Clearly, that has not hurt the stock price at all. The price of copper has remained steady. It's ticked up some, but it hasn't moved around a whole lot. But the stock prices has done really well. Another thing to mention here is, copper is a commodity. It is something that's used to build, right? As far as copper wiring and things of that nature. So while there is no immediate news concerning new builds or anything like that. We do know that there is infrastructure planning happening right now in the United States with the current administration. And in other parts of the world, I think construction is just where it is. I don't think it's ticked up, but I don't believe it's fallen very much either. All right, Bank of America. As you can see, we don't currently own any shares of Bank of America, but we are purchasing options every month, two options actually. So that equals about $200 a month. Is what we're getting on the Bank of America shares. I do have to say that we are sacrificing some stock appreciation. When we purchased the first option on Bank of America back in February, the price was somewhere in the neighborhood of maybe $33, $34. Currently, Bank of America is trading at 39. So we're talking about, $1,000 of stock appreciation, whereas with the options, we're only making maybe about $400, $500. So we are sacrificing some stock appreciation, but the difference is with stock appreciation, we have to sell the stock in order to realize a profit. With options, we realize the profit immediately. And so we're going to continue to do that. and I'll continue to watch the price and make sure that we're not caught with our pants down. But here's the thing, these options are the option to buy. So, even if we were to get assigned these shares, 200 shares, if we get the shares at $38, $37, I'm happy with that. I'm fine with owning Bank of America, and we'll look at some comparisons maybe in the next video. I don't want to take too much time in this one. Garmin has done really well for us, up 14%, almost 15%. They are bringing out new software, I believe, in aviation. I mean, these guys are killing it in the maps game. So they have aviation, they have marine, they have land, and I think they're like number one in marine or aviation. So they're really doing their thing, and like I said, their stock prices working well for us. All right, WP Carey, commercial real estate. These guys have been doing fairly well. I was really concerned about possible um, defaults, people not paying their lease, but WP Carey says that that's not happening. They have maybe one customer that was behind on lease payments and has now caught up. WP Carey, they lease to companies like Public Storage, and those types of guys. Typically, what WP Carey will do is, let's say Public Storage owns their building. Well, uh, Public Storage will sell the building to WP Carey, and then WP Carey will in turn lease the building back to Public Storage. And so they do these types of deals all over the world. And they've done really well in the past years, and so we expect them to continue doing just that. Of course, I'm going to keep an eye on those defaults and making sure that all the customers are paying on time. Again, we're up just a bit in that position, 4%, not enough to sell quite yet.